Hey everyone, it's Draftful Dodger podcast, the episode number 6. I'm usually with you, Vova Zeeon, Ukrainian immigrant and stand-up comedian here in Toronto, Canada. And here I'm just, sharing my observations, sharing my drafts about the thing, about my life, about the comedy in general. So if you find it really, really supportive for your own struggle, or you just like my chit chat in this microphone, I remind you to follow me on social media, which will be really helpful for me to develop as an artist and comic. And if you have an opportunity, you're not obligated, as I've said it before, but you can help me somehow financially. You can do a donation on Buy Me a Coffee. Please find the links attached in bio or information to this channel, or on my social media as well. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about today, but let's be honest, I just recovered from my sickness, from that harsh flu, but I still have that kind of stuffed nose, still have a little bit of cough, but I feel much better now. Trying to reload myself and reset after that one, because before I burned out completely. I haven't done stand-up for a couple of weeks, but now not couple, obviously, probably even 3 weeks, but now I'm just getting back on the track and trying to write something new as well. So let's roll. So the first draft I would like to start with is my recent experience on being back on the stand-up stage of Toronto, because I've been burned out for a long period of time, and I've also had that kind of observation when people were complaining about burning out of doing comedy, and there was a tip from a guy who was doing the feedback show. He was talking about burning out is actually not making yourself live your own life. It's when you're dedicating yourself to the stand-up comedy too much, so you can't be real. At that point, you're just overthinking all the stuff. You're overthinking the jokes. You're overthinking the material, which not let you breathe perfectly. And probably it's the best description that I've ever had. And he's right. He's absolutely right about that. And getting back to the feedback show, getting back to the stage just made me think a little bit different on my own perspective of doing my stand-up comedy. Some people were already telling me that I'm doing really depressed stuff, and they called me the saddest comic of Toronto, which is kind of fair. I won't brag about that, but I think it's fair that I'm the saddest comic, because I can't be happy right now. I am experiencing too many difficulties in life, such as moving to another place again, which I was considering that it would be my home. I'm talking not about a different country, but about a different apartment. Some paperwork that I also experienced, some financial difficulties. But that's the thing that made my material more honest for me, which I tried to go through and try to write it down first of all to feel it. So I did the feedback. It's the format that reminds a little bit of a Kill Tony show, where you have 1 minute, but in feedback you have 90 seconds, which is tough for me because my material usually demands a little bit more space for creating the certain vibe and certain atmosphere when I'm getting on the stage. And it's really, really hard for me to do those 90 seconds and keep that tightness and make people laugh. I know that probably I should do that, even though I'm signing up for that kind of format to do. But I just can't. I realize that I just can't, and I need to learn how to do it. That's the thing. So I got the feedback from the guys who were the club owners, but they are actually trying to be the jury of the feedback. So they listened to my set and they were why did you make it so serious? I know personally, like, it wasn't the first feedback of mine. Yeah, and they were like, you need to be more whimsical. You need to be more like having fun. Did you have fun? And to be honest, yeah, I did. I did have fun on a stage. And how would I know that? Because first of all, I just did my material that I wish I was doing, before. And like, considering the main point of it, doing that material and saying it out loud from the stage already brings me fun, which makes people laugh as well. Not as hard as, like, laughing their asses out loud, but it's just a matter of me going out there, saying the jokes that I've written, even if they are not landing so well as I considered it before. It makes me feel much more alive and much more fun than when I'm going in there just trying to impress the audience and it's not landing anywhere. I feel more disgusted to myself if it goes so. Yes, that was the first feedback, but I think that I didn't quite understand that need of mine. Yeah, when I just try to create the atmosphere, and it's kind of impossible to do it in 90 seconds. So I wish I would just try to work a little bit more on that material and that form of comedy, and I will certainly do that. There were some really, really useful tips that, like, a friend of mine gave me as well, about like being more concentrated on explaining some things and not waiting for people to like think about it, because it's a lack of time, so they don't have any time to think about that. They need that lightning machine gun attitude of a comic who's going in there. So probably, I will stick to it and I will try to improve it. But the thing that really made me upset that I've seen in there, not only me like performing, but some different comics who were going up on the stage, and there was one guy who did it for the first time, and he went out, he had his 90 seconds, and he was talking about like how he would like to cross over his dog and his best friends, and he tried to like make his friends traits for the dog and dog's traits for his friends. So yeah, and they were like, that's the weird stuff. I mean, the guy of the jury, that's the weird stuff, but it's interesting. I loved it. And the thing is that was like making me upset that actually everything that this comic was talking about from the stage, it was the basic story of the show called Wilfred with Elijah Wood. And the main point of this show is like the guy seeing his neighbor's dog as a different guy who's wearing the costume, like the suit of the dog, and that guy is an asshole. Like, he's an asshole. He smokes, he swears, he's full of lust, he's filthy. So like acting like a filthy animal, and that was the point of the set. And I really pissed off when the comics are going in there and they are saying like, I'm doing it for my first time, and they're trying to treat their own set like that is actually so similar. They have no knowledge about the comedy that they were watching, which is kind of good for like the blank piece of paper when you're trying to create something. But then you have like the reference, and that something you need to avoid. You have the thing, you know what makes you funny, but you don't need to do exactly the same thing that you've seen on probably this guy didn't see it, or he was not interested in comedy as well, like the sitcom comedy or whatever, like, I mean, the shows. But that also has a different side of it. Like, I knew the story that he came before and he was on the show, and guys were doing like the open mic, the material, and he was just heckling them and saying like, that's bullshit, like, I can do better. And then you see that guy going and doing like completely different stuff that is not even better, that is technically like the stolen idea and the stolen bit. I don't think that it's like the main point of doing comedy, when you're trying to chase the laughs and you're trying to create something that is already created and you have no like perspective, no individual perspective that is so unique on what you're trying to offer to the audience. The second thing that pissed me off recently is social media. Like we were talking shit about that daily, about like, oh, you need to do that for just making it even better for your career, when you know already how to deal with that, when you know what to do and you know what to post, and actually you need to go viral and all that stuff. And that's not the reason why I'm just doing that on my media. It's just a reason of my own need to stay a little bit honest to myself, to have a little bit of stage time, because basically I still remind you that my podcast is the kind of the open mic just for one person, for me, just for now. I'll probably will figure out how to make it for two people later, but anyways, I'm not talking about that. The thing that pissed me off is once I went on TikTok, and I'll keep posting my stuff. I keep posting my shorts and reels in there, just like without any kind of hope now, to be sure. I was hoping that one day I've been doing jokes, and maybe some jokes, like the silly ones, even like the dead ones, you can just go across my account and see that shit that I've posted. It would be like, really, really viral, and it makes me to keep it up, moving in that direction, and to feel not like a piece of shit, just to get viral and earn some money. But now I realize that it's completely impossible. I can't figure out the algorithm, but somehow algorithm tries to show me a lot of different stupid stuff, a lot of idiotic stuff. And what pissed me off, I opened up the TikTok and I've seen the reel of a singing piece of poo, which lyrics were like, oh, the S goes with poop, 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 the Winnie goes with piss, 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 and all that stuff. And you're just, and I was so like, I don't know, I can't find any word except molested at that time. Like, my brain was fucked, literally, because I've seen all the numbers, all the metrics that said that there is like hundreds of likes in there, 300s of reposts, and just saving that shit, which is kind of relevant because they are actually saving the shit on their phone, singing shit. And I thought, we're definitely fucked up. The art is fucked up. I've seen people on TikTok who were just accusing me of using AI to create my create my previews, my thumbnails on the videos, on the podcast, on the covers of the podcast. And just I just started to go with that viral thing, with that Dada philosophy, because I've listened to this new viral sensation called Engine de Poitrine, which is French Canadian band, and they're kind of good. They are interesting, and they are like protesting against AI music and all that shit. I can get it, but I don't get people who are calling me AI slob for using it as an instrument. Somehow, I can tell that a lot of people who did that are using AI daily. They are using it regularly, and that's funny because they don't even notice that they use it. And they are trying to go viral with the same way, like while they are just posting their videos on TikToks, and they are just so desperate of the feedback and likes when they are asking, how do you like my guitar riff? That's amazing. But actually, I can hear how you just stole the riff of Wolf Mother and combined like the Joker and Thief, Dimension, and Apple Tree, or whatever it can be, Woman. Yeah, like the 4 songs in one. Is it AI? No. Is it creative? No. But like for me, again, it's for me. I can't say anything else. And what actually makes me think a lot about this, about the art, is the book that I'm reading now. It's by William Deresiewicz, which is called The Death of the Artist, and How Creators Are Struggling to Survive in the Age of Billionaires and Big Tech. Is it good? Probably. It just gives a lot of answers to understanding what are we trying to do in this social media noise right now, and like how people are dealing with that, how they are trying to still create some art and not use their own creativity only, but like the real art to promote it on social media, and that we are all the part of the biggest scam that can be done in this way of the Silicon Valley that we are experiencing right now. And they are actually trying to sell us those apps to fill up their pockets with money, but they are just also trying to give you the idea that you can go viral, you can earn money with your own art. You don't need to look for the manager, you don't need to look for any ideas, or just, you just need to have a camera or a microphone and your own computer. That's it. Even smartphone now. That's it. You don't need to put too much effort into it. You can just go viral with the snap of the fingers. And I see 1,000 of accounts who are doing that, and it's like the cemetery. It's the cemetery. And here's the thing. What I've really also experienced on the feedback show just before that I've been talking on the previous draft, there was a guy in the audience who was going in there and I'm not doing comedy, but I'm doing memes. I got a meme page, and it has 400k followers on it, and I'm doing merch. And he showed the merch with that common thing, with that picture on the pond, when Jupiter, when the planet has that kind of small head, that yarmulke, that which Jewish people wear. And it made me think that we are totally fucked up. You're doing the free copyright stuff. You're just taking and stealing all the things that you have on the internet somehow, and just reselling that. And that guy went to business school for it. That's funny, and that's funny how fucked up is the art for now. And I understand that I don't want to be that part of that comedy stage or that comedy community that actually praises that, and they are just saying, okay, you're cool, you're earning money. I think I'm doing the wrong stuff. I'm trying to give you the content of my own idea, and I'm fucked up and I'm poor, and that's how it is. And you're great, and you're just making it, and we're not. We're pissed off with that. And they were kind of honest on it. I can understand it, and I want to be honest as well. I don't know why we are still producing the art which has no sense at all. We got the internet, and I'm not against the technology. Let me get it straight. Let me be honest with you. I'm not against everything. I'm not against the technology. I'm not against the AI. I actually think it's fun. I think AI is fun because it gives you a lot of different monotonous stuff that you don't want to do. That's why I'm actually doing those arts at AI, those thumbnails and previews. I don't need to waste too many time for doing that. It's not the art. I'm not producing art, the visual art. I'm not the visual artist. I'm just doing that for the cover. That's it. If I wanted to put in some visual art, I would kind of make it. I can draw anything, whatever I like, but I don't have any kind of time for it, I don't have it. I'm just recording my thoughts, and my content is audio content for now. It's not visual part. As soon as I will get visual, I think I will get more stuff and more professional people to do that, which would be fair, which would not make AI take their jobs, you know. But like when people are accusing you of a scamming, like using AI for your own craft, it's not like literally done with only AI. I've seen a ton of accounts who are doing the shit with that AI. Even that singing pile of shit. That is done with AI. There is no craft in it. It was generated song on Suno AI. It's not the commercial. It was edited with a scenario written with a ChatGPT, the lyrics written with a ChatGPT, and again, done with some kind of visualized studio to make that pile of shit sing. And that's not a craft. That's not an art. It's just the basic stuff that were done all for human. But there is no art. We need to understand it. It shouldn't be so popular. But people, the regular people who are not doing art, who are just creative, they're making that shit and they like that shit. They like to eat it. They just think it's delicious and it's funny because it can be like really easy for your digestion. You know what I mean? You don't need to consume and think at one point. You're just consuming, and that's why it works. And I think that's fucked up. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm still gonna use AI for my previews, and I don't care about the opinion. If you want to give the comment down about like how I'm scamming everyone, you're up to do that. Try to prove me wrong. You know, try to discuss it with me or dispute what I'm trying to offer you. I will try to answer you back. So drop the comments. And another thing that, like, I don't know how long this episode is going to be, but I'm just trying to talk without any notes that I have. I'm just doing the observations and the thoughts that I need to express out of myself. I need to spit it out. So definitely the thing that I'm facing right now is just looking for a new rental apartment. Yeah. And that pisses me off in Canada. First of all, you have landlords, which actually brings us back to the medieval times. Yeah, there is no like people who are just doing rent, like rentiers in France or probably Quebec. Yeah, there is no thing like that in here. It's like landlord and a tenant, which already says who is on its place. And like, what pisses me off, you're just like doing the casting show before your landlord, which is not fair because, for example, if I have money and I have opportunity to pay for my living, why should I do that? Like, I'm okay. I know that it's a lot of different laws in there that are trying to preserve tenants, preserve landlords from, and save them, yeah, like from different kind of conflicts and people who are not paying rents and just like can be the bunch of assholes. But sometimes you can talk to the person and you can understand what's going on in there. Even if you're doing the viewing of the apartment, I don't think that you need any kind of paper if you're seeing the person in real life. Yeah, you don't need to show too many of the credit scores. You don't need to show any kind of pay stubs or whatever, the employment letter, the reference from the previous landlord. I think it's idiotic because if I have money and I have an opportunity to pay for the first and the last month, I already can't pay for the forward things. Yeah, sometimes we have the different force majeure situations when we are just like getting fired from work or we're trying to like figure it out. But if I have that, I have an opportunity to solve the problem out. So it's really wild when you're doing the whole like spectral analysis. I don't know. Would you need my aura? Would you need my imprint of my anus? What's in there? What will go for forward? Yeah, like how would I do that? And after you've done all that shit, they are saying you need to wait for like a week or two after the interview, and we will call you back if the landlord will just pick you up for that. That's wild. I know the situation that goes, for example, in Ukraine or like in different countries as well. I think it's probably that European tradition, that European custom that gave us that right and that opportunity. I don't even know like how many years was that for and why it's changed in so weird way. But like if you have money, as I've said before, like and you're going there and you're paying rent, and for example you finally made it through that casting, and then the landlord starts to talk to you and like, oh, are you smoking? Are you like having pets or whatever? If I am taking the obligation and you already signed me for it and I'm paying you money, I'm getting everything safe in this space that you're making me to pay rent for. Why should I still do the report in front of you? I know that it's your own real estate, yeah, like that. I know that it's your possession, but the thing is that like it's just a paper box or the concrete box or the brick box where you're trying to provide some services and you're not providing them correctly, and then you're demanding from me to provide my obligations and my rights in there, and you're ignoring some of them. Then I think it's not working. It's not good for both of the sides. And what's the point of it? Why we are not like that? That's why we have that rental market issues in here as well, and everywhere, where the person tries to be the nice person, but you don't need the nice person. Even like you need more like money and your own safety concerns higher than the actual opportunity and then the actual chance for another person to live in the house and pay rent for you. And that's wild. That's really wild. I don't even know how I will handle this right now, but yeah, I mean, like all the terms of mine are okay, but even with all of the terms, I'm not sure that I'm gonna make it as like the personal, the personal. I can't even get the word, like the personal views and expectations of the landlord who is looking for the tenants. And I've seen, for example, a couple of those posts when they were doing it on Kijiji or Marketplace, and there's still no tenants in those rentals, in those apartments, which is wild. Like, who are you looking for? The prince on the white horse or whatever? Yeah, that's an interesting experience, but it is how it is. I remind you that it was the Draftful Dodger, and sorry if it was so short. I mean, like the 2 short drafts, not too many observations today, but it was my own experience of my life, which is kind of weird, or you may think that I'm complaining a lot. No, I'm just trying to spit it out and hear in the microphone. And I will remind you, if you like it, you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee or just by following me on my social media. It was Draftful Dodger. It was Vova Zeeon. I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Have a good one. Politicians in my eyes.